second. Okay. Morning, everyone. Start tayo with, we actually have 2 lessons today, no? So, ang first na i-cover natin is projections. So, just basics of how we project our lines, no, and planes into the two-dimensional space, no? Okay. Tapos after that, we'll also be looking into parallel lines and planes. So, we'll have a two-parter, and in between the two parts, siguro magkaroon tayo ng mga kahit 10-minute break lang. Kailan ba 'yon? Think okay lang. Sige, thank you for the feedback. Okay, so let me shift my ano no. And ano ka lang, adjust ko lang yung mga brushes ko. Okay. So let's begin and shift ko lang. Ayan, nakikita nyo na ba? Yung screen ko. Okay. So let's begin, no? So this is worksheet number, what is this? I think practice worksheet number 5 ba to? Anyway, basta ito yung sa introduction of projections. So I won't go into detail kung bakit ano yung theory na kung bakit ganito natin pino-project yung mga lines, yung points, lines and planes natin, no? So you'll have to look at the modules kung paano siya, kung bakit siya nagwo-work. Pero dito sa session na to, I'll just be doing a tutorial on how you actually do it, no? Pag meron na kayong different points and planes in the different reference planes, no? Okay? So kunin ko lang yung nasaan yung compass ko. Start natin dito. Okay? Okay, so we have 2 points here. So we have these 2 points, points 1 and points 2, are to be projected into the different reference planes. No? So we have 4 reference planes actually dito. No? So we have for the first reference plane dito, we have another reference plane, and we have the third and the fourth. Okay, so let me ano muna, no? Siguro it's better if we label this reference plane. So, and for this case, familiar na kayo sa yung 3 primary reference planes natin. So we have, masyado makapal. Okay. So meron tayong mga primary reference planes. We call them HRP, FRP, and PRP. No? Okay. So yung HRP is known as the horizontal reference plane. Sometimes it's known as your top view. Tapos itong next is the frontal reference plane, which is oftentimes the front view. Tapos si PRP is the profile reference plane, which is your side view. Parang yan. Okay, so in common terms, no, ito siya. So horizontal kasi parang this plane is parallel to the ground. Kasi if you are looking at it from the top view, then it is parallel to the ground. No? So horizontal reference plane. Frontal because most of the times if you have if you have an object, let's just say an object, kunwari, and it has a certain feature dito, no? Kunwari, most of the time we are able to determine a frontal na and a frontal plane, and we call this as the front view, no? So in this case parang ito yung tinitingnan natin sa frontal reference plane, ito. Okay, pero that's not to say na all objects have a front and a side view, no? Parang sometimes this is just arbitrary. And if you look at the PRP or the profile reference plane, so it's called the profile reference plane because when you look at it from the side, yung object natin, and this stems from how we look at objects as if they are parang human beings. No? So if you look at human beings, meron tayong top view, may front view tayo, yung diretso sa mukha natin, and meron tayong side view where we can see the profile, no? Of our bodies or faces. No? So for example, if it's a face, then kung front view yung face, ito siya, ganyan. Tapos pag side view, so may nose ka, ganyan. Pag side view naman, you can see the profile of the face. No? So you can see something like this. So this is known as a profile. No? Diba? So in our example, if you look at the profile, ito siya, parang ganyan yung profile na example natin. Okay, so actually parang ganyan. Tama? Okay, so yun yung primary reference planes natin. And, pagaling bubura to. Okay. So, dito, in this case, wala namang pero we oftentimes, if we draw the etong 3 reference planes na to, usually yung pinakataas na reference plane is the HRP. This is HRP. And yung parang nasa center, we call it as the FRP. And dito sa side, this is the PRP. Okay? Not always the case, no, pero most often parang ganito siya. And we can label dito. Usually, what we do is if we have this reference plane right here, so we call this as a reference plane. Pero minsan din, more accurately, parang mas okay tawagin to as a, I don't know, as a folding line. Kasi the way it works is parang if this were your parang viewing box, wala yan yung viewing box na, no? So we place an object dito sa viewing box. So for example, ito yung gusto natin i-view and kukunin natin yung projections na usually ito yung FRP. This is your, sorry, HRP, FRP, and PRP. Parang ganyan, no? So what we are actually doing is parang ina-unfold natin tong box na to, no? So if you unfold that, it will look something like parang ganyan, no? And obviously, meron pa dito sa baba, sa side. Pero etong portion na to, this is just the same as this one. And this one is the same as this one, no? Okay? So usually, ito lang yung tatlo yung dinodrawing natin kung yung primary lang. So parang ganyan yung nangyayari sa kanya. Okay? So in a way, parang folding line to. This folding line here separates the two reference planes right here. So whenever we have a folding line or reference line or reference plane, they separate two planes that are orthogonal to each other. No? So necessary yun. So you cannot have, for example, if I have a arbitrary na, I don't know, let's just say I have another viewing plane na pa ganyan. And we call this as an auxiliary reference plane. No? So we can label it as ARP kunwari. Let's just say ARP. Sige, ARP na ganyan. So we can view the object using this plane as well. No? Pero you cannot move from HRP to ARP. So there does you cannot create a line or a folding line that separates HRP and ARP. For this particular scenario, no, itong ganitong, let me label na lang. No? Let's say ARP1 yan. So I can't have that because hindi sila orthogonal to each other. What I can do is, pwede actually FRP to ARP. Pwede ganyan. Because if you look at it, FRP, ARP1. FRP is orthogonal or at a right angle to ARP1. Okay? So right now, hindi siya importante. I'm just pointing it out. No? Ang unique din na, ano, no, na case dito sa primary reference planes natin is that si HRP, FRP, and PRP are actually orthogonal, parang mutually orthogonal sila to each other. So HRP is perpendicular to FRP, is also perpendicular to PRP, and all of them are perpendicular to each other. No? Okay? So let's begin. No? So I'm just labeling this para mas madali natin no? Pero in this particular na scenario, hindi pa naman importante na i-label natin yung reference planes natin. Okay, so if we were to project our points into different reference planes, so meron na yung point 1 and point 2, naka-project na siya sa HRP and FRP, no? Now we just have to project it dito sa PRP. So to project it, we need to create a line, no? And at this point, pwede na actually tayong gumamit ng sliding na ruler technique. So have you seen the video of how you can slide your triangles? Sliding triangle pala. Nakita nyo na ba siya? Hopefully si Sir Tenz at gumawa no, yung sliding triangle. So merong mga nag-thumbs up. Okay? So I urge you to use the sliding triangle technique no, para mas madali kayo mag-create ng parallel line. So hindi na necessary na gumawa tayo nung di ba usually pag gumagawa tayo ng parallel lines, kailangan natin gumamit ng kunwari rhombus method. Yung gaganon tayo, tapos ganyan. Tapos to produce this, no? Para ma-produce tong So hindi na necessary na gumawa ng rhombus method when we are doing parallel lines and perpendicular lines for that matter. No? So kahit dito, kunwari, gusto ko mag-project ng perpendicular line to this reference plane or folding line, hindi ko na kailangan gumawa nung ganyan. Okay? Hindi na necessary. No? So I can just use my sliding triangle technique. No? Okay? So the way we do it is the location of your points will always be located in a projection line that is perpendicular to the folding line or the reference plane. Okay, so if you look at this, para itong point 2, yung location ni point 2 should be somewhere dito. Okay, along this line. Tapos si point 1 should be also along this line right here. Okay, so somewhere along that line sila. So notice how itong si point 2, pag dinawin ko to, pinunay ko yung dalawa, it is actually also along a perpendicular na along a perpendicular line to the folding line. Okay? And wait lang class kailan lang ko mag-close ng medyo naglalag kasi yung view ko. Mukhang okay na. Close ko nga ito isa pa. Okay? Hopefully nag-improve yung tracking na. Anyway. So, ito na siya no. We have created a projection line. So let's just complete it. No? So meron tayong projection line din. This is also perpendicular. Yeah. Okay, so once we have found our projection lines, we know that point 1 should be somewhere here, and point 2 should also be somewhere here. So how do we determine kung gaano siya kalayo from the reference plane? We use the views that are two views away from it as our reference plane. So for example, if we are working with PRP, two views away means that you don't use the the adjacent view. So for in this case, kunwari itong PRP, ang adjacent view niya is actually itong HRP. And if we label this, label na rin natin ito. No? So for example, this is PRP. So this is ARP. And let's call it ARP1. Okay? Or pwedeng just ARP, no? Since wala naman tayong any other ARPs pa. So if you have multiple ARPs, kunwari may ARP ka pa dito, then you can call this as ARP2, tas ito yung ARP1. So just to keep track of it. No? Pero in this case, wala namang iba pang auxiliary reference plane. Then let's just call it as ARP. No? Okay? So dito, if you were to look at it, si PRP has two adjacent views, no? Si HRP on this side, tapos ARP on the other side. Tama? But we need to do two views away for the reference na locations. Okay? So yung distance nila are based on are based on reference planes that are two views away from the current view that you are working on. Okay? So we are working on a PRP, and in this particular case, if I do one view away, two view away, that is HRP, no? HRP yung two views away. We can also do this side. So kunwari, dito one view away and two views away. Pero if you notice, wala namang iba pang view dito, no? That is significant to us, or walang view na we can use as a reference. No? So we only have parang kumbaga one direction to go in this case. No? So pwedeng from here, one view, two view. So and if, for example, meron kang dito FRP, no? Kunwari ganyan. This is FRP, and you have kunwari ARP3 dito. Then this can also be, if you have locations of the points 1 and point 2, no, then you can also use this distances dito, or you can use this view as a reference for the distances. No? Kasi two views away pa rin naman siya. Kasi if you look at PRP, that's one view away, HRP, and another view away, ARP3 ka na. Okay? Okay, so and this works backwards or forwards, no, if you can call it that. Kasi if you look at ARP3, kunwari gusto mo makuha to ARP3, then you can also use one view, two view, pwede ring one, two. Ayan. Okay, so it works that way, no. So that's the case. So let's do itong simple muna, no, 1 and 2. We're looking for the location of 1 and 2. Itong point 1 muna, no. So we know that point 1 is located along this line. And maybe I should, dito ko para mas makita natin. Okay. So, kunwari itong point 1, no? It's located along this line, and the distance is based on two views away. So we take our compass, lagay natin siya dito. Tama? Lagay natin. And what we do is we take this distance. So parang kukunin natin yung distance of that point from the reference line. Okay? So, minsan ang mistake na ginagawa ng estudyante is that hindi nila na-determine kung ano yung reference line na i-measure nila. Kasi minsan, kunwari, if you have multiple views na kunwari, meron ka pang isang view dito, minsan, instead of, or meron kang reference line dito, no? Minsan, instead of measuring from here, mini-measure nila from dito na distance. So, for example, if I were to draw, parang may ganyan tayo. Minsan, ang ginagawa is nag-measure sila dito kasi nalito sila kung saan yung reference plane. So, bukod sa kailangan natin two views away, tandaan nyo rin na two reference lines away yung mini-measure natin or yung basis natin. So, for example, if I have this is the first reference line or folding line, then this is the second folding line. So, therefore, I should measure from this folding line right here and not from the, hindi from the, from other reference lines related to that view, no? Okay, does that make sense? So, sige, ito muna, simple lang muna para hindi tayo masyadong malito, no? And later papakita ako ng example na yung posibleng magkaroon ng common mistake yung mga estudyante, no? So, let's do this one. So, I've taken the distance. Ito yung location ng 1, this projection line right here. Siya yung location niya. Tapos para makuha yung distance, then I just get the distance of the point from the folding line that is 2 lines away from the view. No? So for example, this is the view, 1 first line, second line. Okay? So if I take this distance right here, okay? Tapos mark off ko siya. Mark natin dito. Oh, yan. Then that is the location of point 1. This is now point 1, no? Right here. Tapos we do the same for point 2. Kunin natin yung compass natin. Ganyan. Measure natin siya. Then lipat dito sa side na to. And this is the projection line for 2, no? So kaya dito natin siya mini-measure. And let's mark it off. This is now location of point 2, no? Now, if we were to finalize the answers, gagawin natin is we mark points with a crosshair. So ito siya. This is, oh, wait lang. Mark natin to. This is point 1. Mark natin to. This is now point 2. Okay, so we have successfully found the location of point 1 and point 2 in FRP. Okay, now what do we do if gusto natin mahanap yung location naman ni point 3 and point 4? Okay, so let's try and look for the location of point 3 and point 4. Wait lang, medyo hindi yata nakikita yung compass ko. Let me adjust this. Oh. I think that's good enough. Ano? Ibang kulay na gagamitin ko pala. Sige, I'll use a different color para mas makita nyo. No? Okay, so let's do this. If you want to take the location or gusto natin mahanap yung location ni points 1 and point 2 in ARP, then we need to create a perpendicular line. No? So, again, dito hindi nyo na kailangan na gumawa ng ano, no, yung geometric geomcon techniques. Pwedeng yung sliding triangle technique lang ang gagamitin nyo. Okay, so I'll create a perpendicular line. This is my projection line for point 2. Tapos ito naman for point 1. Okay? Tapos, we know that this is the view that we are working on. So if we take 2 projection lines away, or no, sorry, not projection line, we take 2 reference lines or reference planes away, and then that's ARP, this V1, so 1 view away, 2 views away. So ito yung magiging basis natin. And we use yung folding lines that are also 2 views away. No? So that's the first projection line, the second projection line. So yun yung magiging basis natin. Okay? So ito, we take our compass, lipat natin siya dito. Like so. So ito yung distance ni point 2 muna, no? Hanapin natin. This is point 2, lipat natin siya. Like so. Tapos, i-mark na natin siya dito. This is point 2. Tapos, take our compass again. And measure natin yung distance niya from point 1. So again, 2 views away, no? So that's ARP, 1, 2. Tapos, 2 reference lines away din. So that's itong folding line na to, 1, 2. Okay, so dito tayo mag-measure. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina class, no? Kasi minsan, ginagawa ng estudyante is dito sila nag-measure. Mara ito, kung kunin nila yung 1 o dito sila nag-measure, which is wrong, no? Kasi dapat ang basis mo is this second folding line right here that is measured from the ARP. So that's 1, 2. Okay, so we should measure from here. Oop. And yeah, medyo malaki yung distance niya, no? Okay, so let's transfer that. Lipat natin siya dito. And now we have found the location of point 2. Okay? No, sorry. This is point 1. So if we finalize this, we place a crosshair. This is point 2. This is point 1. Okay? So, dapat, let me have my compass. Dapat nasagot nyo something like this. No? And siguro para mas, ano to, let me change the color. No? And, okay? So, ito, construction lines lang to. It should look something like that. Tapos yung final answer natin is itong point 1 na to. Itong points 1 and 2 na to dito on the PRP view and points 1 and 2 on the ARP view. Okay, so that's simple enough, no? Pero kailangan ito ma-master nyo to, no? Kasi all of the other techniques na ituturo na from here on will be based on itong locating those different points, no? Okay? So let's do ito no, completing all views. So we have 2 points and 1 line. So we have points 1 and 2. Tapos meron din tayong lines AB. Okay, so practice, try natin to. So the first tip I can give is always, I don't know, we always start with connecting the given lines. So kasi almost always, kukunin nyo talaga yung distances ng mga lines sa'yo. So it's always good practice and wala namang mawawala sa inyo if you connect the two lines, no? Yung mga given lines natin. Sabi ito, connect ko na siya agad. Tapos meron pa ba akong pwede ma-connect? Wala na, no? Now I can just create my projection lines. So this is my first projection line. So I'll do projection line right here. Dito din projection line. And again, projection lines are perpendicular to the reference plane, no? So dito, if I'm projecting it this way, then yung reference line or reference or folding line na gagamitin ko basis to create my perpendicular projection line, it should be this one, okay? Which is different from when I am projecting it this way, no? So kung dito naman ako magpo-project, then I don't project it. Ito din pala, isa sa magiging common mistakes din class, no? Minsan, ano nangyari ano nangyari? Wait lang class, medyo naglalag yung computer ko for some reason. No? Ayan, naging okay na. So, minsan ang ginagawa ng estudyante is nagpo-project sila dito and nagpo-perpendicular line sila to this reference plane tapos ganyan. Which is wrong, no? Kasi hindi naman tayo nagpo-project on this side. Hindi naman tayo nagpo-project on this side, I mean. Dito naman tayo nagpo-project. So, dapat, pag ganun, dapat pino-project natin siya pataas, no? Pag ganyan dapat. And meron talagang issue. Can we, saglit lang class, let me check kung bakit meron natang nagpapabagal sa system ko. No? Hmm, may nagra-run ata. Nag-check yung antivirus ko. Anyway, mukhang okay na. Okay, that should hopefully fix it, no? Okay, let's go back. So kung gusto ko i-project naman tong points 1 and 2 dito sa ARP, but before that, let me make my projection lines for A and B as well. No? So yeah. Tapos project natin siya dito sa ARP2. So yeah, and the way I do it dito sa Photoshop is just to align it with one of the parang horizontal sides dito sa window ko. So I can just do that. Tapos ganyan. Okay, so yan na yung location ni 1 and 2 in ARP2. Okay, so balik tayo, reset natin. Okay, so dito first, 1 and 2 muna no dito sa FRP kasi yun yung kulang and we already know that projection line of 1 is this one and also from this point projection line niya is this one. So therefore intersection nila should be where point 1 is. Tama? So if I do ganyan, this should be yung crosshair na to should be point 1. Similarly, ganun din sa point 2, no? Ito yung projection line ni point 2. Ito din yung projection line niya. Therefore, dapat it should be located here. This is now point 2. Okay? Now, to find point 2 here, we use reference na distances, no? So, this is we are working on ARP2. 2 views away, that's 1, 2. So, dito tayo yung reference distance natin. And we use yung 2 folding lines away din. So, that's first folding line, second folding line. So, dapat ito. Ito dapat yung distance na kukunin natin. Okay, so let's take our compass. Measure natin siya. We do from here, no? From the folding line or reference line. Is the distance of 2. Lipat natin dyan. Tapos, this is point 2 right here. Tapos, next, kunin natin si point 1 naman. Point 1 is this distance right here. Ito siya, no? Medyo malaki yung distance niya. Okay. So, lipat natin siya. 0.1. And nabitin yung ano ko, no? But it's okay. Somewhere dyan. So, let me just extend this, no? So, dito dapat si 0.1 naman to. Okay. Now, let's find AB naman. AB, complete na siya dito. Pero kailangan natin hanapin dito sa ARP. ARP1, si AB. So, balik tayo dito. Si point B. And this is, ano no, since we are looking at ARP1, 2 views away should be here. Okay, so that's first reference line here. Ito. Then second reference line dito. Okay, so dapat dito tayo magbe-measure ng distances for AB. So first, let's find B muna. Ganyan. Lipat natin siya. B. And we measure it from this reference line here. Okay. So, dito. And ito din pala, isa din so sa mistake class. No? So, once you get the distance, so I'll just point this out as well. No? Minsan din na nalito yung estudyante kung saan nila i-measure. Kung kumari, na-measure na nila. Nakuha dito. So, this is two reference lines away or 2 views away. To, yung distance na to, si B. Tapos, minsan, instead of measuring from here, lalo na pagka magulo na yung ano, no, masyadong madami ng views, instead of measuring from this one, minsan ang nangyayari is nagme-measure yung estudyante from here, parang dito. Dito nila mini-measure. Which is wrong, no? Kasi hindi naman ito yung first reference line for which we measure the distance or which we construct the distance away. Dapat dito sa first na reference line na to. Okay? So since we are moving here, so this is the ARP1. We are working on this view. 2 views away is this one. 1, 2. Dito tayo magme-measure. Tapos pag i-construct na natin, yung basis natin is yung first na reference line that is moving in the direction papunta dun sa reference view natin. Tama? Kasi ito siya. Ito kumbaga yun. So, you always think of it this way, class, no? Parang imaginary, meron kayong iisipin dapat na parang flow, if you can call it that, no? So, kunwari, itong ARP1, I'm working here. Dito ako nagwo-work. So, let me try another line. I'm working here, no? Ano nangyayari? Okay. Kaya pala. Me. Oh, yeah. May edit lang ako, class, no? Rasterize. So, kunwari ito, I'm working in this view. You always think na parang may parang flow ka, kumbaga. So, this is the 1 view away, 2 views away. So, yun yung parang flow ko. And kung ano yung lines that are intersected by my quote-unquote flow, yun yung magiging gagamitin kong reference. So, this one, itong line na to, or itong folding line na to, this will be the basis for my distances. Now, once I have my distances, I will work on or I will measure based on the distance that I have found, I will measure it from here. Okay? So, doon ko ipi-place yung whatever measurement na nakuha ko doon sa line 2. So, if you can imagine na parang may first line ka, tapos may second line ka dito. Tapos ang gagawin mo is measure the distance from the second line, and now that you have the distance from the second line, you transfer that distance onto the first line. Doon sa parang flow mo. Okay? I hope that makes sense, no? Kasi it will really help you pag parang nag-imagine kayo ng parang flow na gano'n. No? Okay? So, balik tayo, no? So, yan. So, nasaan na ba tayo? We were measuring location of B, no? Tama? So, let's take our compass. Ito na yung B. So, nandito dapat si B. Okay? Tapos, we take our compass again. Measure naman tayo ng A. So, A, 2 views away. 1, 2. So, it should be here, no? Like so. Measure natin yung distance na to. Tapos, lipat natin dito. Okay? So, just let me know, class, no, kung medyo nalilito pa rin kayo on how you transfer distances. Kasi ito, if we connect this A and B, then we have found line AB, no? And last na natin is to transfer si points A and B doon sa ARP2 para mabuo natin si line AB. Okay. Now I just need to do this and this. Okay. Tapos measure ulit tayo ng mga distances, no? This is, I'm working on ARP2. So this is my first reference line. This is my second reference line. Okay. So from the second line tayo mag-measure ng distances, no? So we are measuring A muna. So A. So ito siya. Medyo malayo, no? Now we transfer this A here. Ito yung distance ni A. And lastly, si B naman. B is this one. No? Again, 2 reference views away. So that's ARP2, 1, 2. So dapat dito yung basis ng measurements. No? Yan. And lipat natin to sa kabila on this side. Something like that. Okay. Yeah. So this is a B. So if we connect this, we have found AB. And we can do the final answer ng class. No? Transfer to my white. So if I connect this one and this one. Oh, kapalan pa natin. This is A. This is B. Tapos dito from here to here. Oh. This is B. This is A. And lastly, ito, crosshair lang. 2 and 1. So if I dim down my construction lines, I should have a final answer that looks like this. No? So ganito dapat yung final answer nyo. With the, and again, wag niyong burahin yung construction lines ha, kasi importante yun for checking. Okay? Okay tayo dyan. So let's proceed with dito naman. Determination of the true length of a particular line. No? Okay. So what dito sa lesson na to ay i-determine natin yung true length pati point view ng isang line. Okay? So true length is, 'di ba? Just try to look at your pencil kunwari, no? Tapos ikot-ikot nyo lang siya. And let's just say, for example, and the best way to imagine this is if you take your pencil, so take your pencil, no, parang ganyan, tapos ikot nyo lang siya and close one of your eyes, no, para mawala yung depth perception nyo. So magmumukha talaga siyang ano, no. And if you look at it, yung pencil nyo actually parang nangyayari is nag-change siya ng size, no? Parang nag-iiba yung length niya. So if it's angled like this, kunwari nakaganyan siya, ang nangyayari is para siyang it appears shorter, no? So that's called a foreshortening effect. So if it's not directly parallel to the reference plane or yung parang viewing plane na to, parang right in front of my face, kung hindi siya parallel doon, nangyayari is it actually becomes foreshortened, no? Parang ganyan. And there is actually a maximum length na makikita ko tong itong pencil na to. Tama? And that maximum length actually is your true length. So yun yung hinahanap natin. So if that's the case, no? So para sabi natin, the only way na makikita ko yung maximum length na to, hopefully nakikita nyo yung mukha ko no, kung paano ko iniikot-ikot tong pencil na to. So the way I can see na yung maximum length na to is if I view this line in a parallel reference plane or viewing plane. No? So for that, very simple lang actually yung paggawa natin ng true length for if you want to find the true length for a particular line AB, no. So ito we are given line AB shown in its HRP and FRP view. Okay. Now, for us to be able to find the true length of this line, kailangan mag-create tayo ng parallel reference plane. Okay? Diba? Kasi parang sabi natin, if we are viewing this line other than a parallel reference plane, ang nangyayari is na-foreshorten siya. Okay? So, to do that, we can work on AB. Pwede actually tayong gumawa ng parallel reference plane from here. Pwede, galing dito, no? Pwedeng pa ganyan, paakyat. So, pwedeng yan yung view natin, or pwede rin gumawa tayo ng parallel reference plane or reference plane dito. Parang ganyan. Papunta dyan. So, you can do either way, no? Pero, if you look at it, marami tayong space sa baba, no? Which indicates na parang the checker wants us to create a reference plane dito sa baba. Kasi pag sa taas tayo, makukulangan tayo ng space, papasok na tayo sa text, no? Okay? So, dito tayo sa baba gagawa. So, what we do is, again, pwedeng sliding triangle technique lang gagawin nyo. You don't have to do geometric constructions in this case, no? So, gagawin ko, kita ko ng parallel reference line, like so. And ito, arbitrary lang yung distance, no? The greater the distance you create, kunwari, ganyan siya. If you create a large distance, ang mangyayari is, baka pwede mabitin yung space nyo. And once na, kunwari, nag-create kayo ng another reference plane dito, yung basis naman ng distance ito will be this one, tama? Kasi that's, if you're working here, that's one view, two views away, tama? So, ang nangyayari is, magiging large din yung distances dito, which in turn causes it to have large distances dito. So, ang downside ng pag masyado malayo yung parang arbitrary reference plane nyo to create the true length is that posibleng makulangan kayo ng space. So, I always suggest na you work with a small na distances, pero comfortable yung distance away naman siya. Kasi pag masyado namang malapit, sometimes, ganito yung ginawa nyo, masyado malapit, and there are certain other elements na kunwari lang, this is now FRP, this is ARP, no? Tama? So, if you did not, kunwari, masyadong maliit yung space na ginawa nyo dyan, and let's just say may isa pang point dyan, no? Kunwari, point 1. Ang mangyayari is, kunwari lang na-find nyo na yung AB, true length na to ng AB, pwede once you try to find this point 1 right here, posible na lalagpas siya dito sa boundary na to. So, parang in a way, parang negative distance siya. So, posible nandito actually si point 1, no? Which, pag ganun naman, pangit naman kasi kunwari, naglagay ka ng point 1 pero ang gusto mo sabihin pala nasa ARP to. Which becomes extremely confusing for the checker, no? So, pwede rin yung point 1 na to pagka nandito siya, pero this is for FRP. Pero since masyadong malapit ang ginawa mong reference plane, nag-cross siya, tapos nagmumukhang as if itong point 1 is the ARP point 1 view. Okay? So, yun. Wala, over time, malalaman nyo kung ano yung medyo comfortable na distances, no? So, it takes a lot of practice na lang siguro kung paano mo ma-judge kung gaano kalayo dapat yung reference plane na i-create mo. So ako, I just like to do something like this. It's a relatively comfortable distance and I know na wala namang ibang points. Then I can do something like this, no? Relatively close. Okay lang sa akin yun. Kasi I know na wala namang ibang other points na i-create pa dito. Pero if I know na marami pang points, then I could play it a little safer, no? And have a large distance. Kasi the worst thing that could happen is, kunwari, you did the, nagawa nyo na lahat, tapos biglang isa sa points nyo lumagpas, parang ganyan. And you have to do it all over again, no? Parang ganyan. Or, pwede naman hindi nyo ulitin, pero kumbaga maglalagay kayo ng mga notes. So, kunwari, this is for, ilalagay nyo lang, kunwari lang, point 1 to. Tapos ilalagay nyo na, this is in ARP. Parang ganyan. Para hindi ma-confuse yung ano. Pero definitely, may mga minus points yun, no? Pag ganun. Kasi tumawid yung mga points nyo. So, the cleanest solution would be all points are in their respective na reference planes or reference views, no? Okay? So, dito, let's just do something like that. Okay? Okay, tapos, we create a, perpendicular projection line. And hindi nyo kailangan all the time ilagyan ng ganyan. No? So I'm just placing it right here para maalala nyo na perpendicular yung mga projection lines natin. Okay? Then I can connect A with A para ma-measure ko yung distances. No? And this is again perpendicular dito. Okay? So if I take my compass, and where is my compass? Put natin dito. Yung compass natin, I measure the distance. So I'm working in this, and let's label my planes. No? It's always good practice to label your planes. Hindi naman siya required all the time, no? Pero good practice na i-label natin yung planes natin. So this is FRP, and let's just say ARP to. So yan. Measure natin. Our compass is this one. Yung distance niya, B. So we measure it from this first line right here. So again, di ba? First, parang kung yung imagination natin kanina, no? We always imagine na ito yung parang first line ko, ang flow ko is from here to here. So this is my first line, this is my second line. So measure from here, tapos transfer distance from the first line. Measure from the second line, transfer to the first line. Okay? Okay. So ito, B, this is B, no? Okay? Tapos lipat natin yung compass natin. Measure naman natin yung A naman. Okay, that's the distance. And lipat natin siya dito. Okay. So this is A. Okay, so if I connect these two, this will actually be my true length. So para ma-indicate na true length siya, lalagyan ko ng TL. No? Minsan ang iba, nilalagyan nila ng ganyan, TL. Pero para sapat na yung ganyan, no? Na TL siya na ganyan. Okay? So if I do my final answer, then ang gawin natin is darken lang natin. So we do this one. Tapos isama natin sa final answer yung TL, no? Okay? Yeah. So this is now my final answer. Let me dim my ano. So parang ganyan. And by the way, kasama sa final answer pala itong reference plane natin. FRP. Okay? So that is how you create your true length. Now, let's try no? Itong nagawa na natin itong first na pinapagawa niya, which is draw the true length of the given line. Now, meron siyang additional instruction that says that from the TL view, draw any adjacent reference plane, no? And let's see what we can observe, no? So let's to do that, dapat lagyan natin ng lagyan natin ng 1 to kasi gagawa pa tayo ng another ARP2, no? Okay? So let's just say eto. We call this ARP2. So again, when we're labeling reference planes class, no, we always label from this parang folding line right here. Kasi parang we consider this folding line as sort of a boundary, no. For example, itong boundary na to, it separates ARP1 to the left and ARP2 to the right. Okay? So ganun niya siya iniisip. So in the same manner as ito, it's HRP to the anything above is HRP, anything below is FRP. Okay? Okay. So ito, let's try this one, no? So this is our ARP1 and so gagawa tayo ng ano, no? Construct projection lines. Let's use this one. Yan. Tapos construction line din pababa na ganyan. Tama? Now we measure distances. This is the view we're working on. So 2 views away, 1, 2. Dapat dito tayo mag-measure. We take the compass. Again, parang practice lang class, no? Constantly doing plates will very much improve your ano, no? Parang if you did this a few amounts of times, then parang magiging natural na sa inyo kung paano mag-transfer ng different points, no? So I can measure this one. This is now point B. Tapos yung next natin is si point A naman. So that's 1, 2. So dito tayo. Sorry, 1, 2. Show natin si A. So what you'll notice is, and you can use this to your advantage actually, class, no? What we'll notice is, since yung reference distances natin came from a parang folding line that we parang sinadya natin na maging parallel dito. Therefore, dapat itong distance na to is equal to this distance. No? So whatever view we do next will always be actually parallel to the reference line or the tawag dito, of the folding line. Tama? Does that make sense? It makes sense, ano? Kasi, di ba, always two views away kasi siya eh. So, if I do something here, two views away will be this parallel line. Yung sinadya natin na parallel si AB with the reference line. So, always, dito din, parallel din yung mangyayari. Tama? So, isa yun sa properties ng, ano, no? ng true length. Any view that is adjacent to the true length view will always be parallel. Will always produce, show the line parallel to the reference plane. Okay? And any view, you know, either whether it's before the view or after the view, if you can think of it that way, no. So pwedeng after this, parallel siya. Pwede rin dito ka, parallel dapat yung makikreate mo na ano, AB dito. If I do dito, pero dapat from the true length view, no. So pag dito na, pag kunwari gumawa na ako dito, then yung mapoproduce ko na AB dito will be in a different orientation and hindi necessary na true length siya. Okay? So yun yung isa sa observations natin. So observation number 1 is that kung gagawa ka ng parallel reference plane to the line in question, then the adjacent then the line will appear in its true length. Tapos any view adjacent to the true length view will always produce a line that is parallel to the reference plane. In this case, para ganyan, no? Right? So okay tayo dyan. So dito naman, gawa naman tayo ng point view ng given line. Okay? So, the way you can imagine this, and maybe take your pencil again, no? And so, kunwari ganito, no? Yan, ano ko na lang. Ilakihan ko yung mukha ko. So, this is your pencil, no? So, try to view it, di ba sabi natin, pagka parallel siya, makikita natin siya in its true length. Now, how do we look at the point view ng line na to? So, we want to view it in such a way na it appears as if isang point lang siya. So, by intuition, ang pinaka-easiest way to do this is to view it this way, no? Parang straight sa parang camera natin or parang straight sa viewing plane natin. So, if I view it this way, ang nangyari is, it appears as if parang isang point lang siya. Tama? So, how do we do that in terms of engineering drawing? If that's the case, then dapat mag-start tayo with the true length. Tama, no? So, if we do true length dito, so kunwari, and I'll just roughly sketch kung ano yung magiging solution ko class, no? So, if I do true length dito, then I can produce something like, kunwari ganyan. Kunwari ganyan yung mapoproduce ko, no? Ni CD. And this is in true length na siya. Now, if I create a perpendicular na reference plane dito, then parang ang nangyari is, it's as if, eto siya, tapos inikot ko ng ganyan, kita ko na yung point view niya. Okay, tama? So, magiging whatever na makukuha ko, and it makes sense, no? Because ang reference distance ko dito is 2 views away. So, that's 1, 2. And I remember na parallel to, tama? Remember that this is parallel, therefore equal to distance na to. So, ang mangyayari is, iisa lang yung projection line nila, same distance pa, and therefore, si C and D will be located in the same location. Therefore, magiging parang isang point lang siya. Okay? So let's try to do it. Iburay natin to. Let's try to do it. Again, we begin with gagawa muna tayo ng parallel line. Okay? So let me do something like that. I think that's a comfortable distance. No? So let's do ARP1 to. And this is FRP. Tama? It separates these two views right here. So let's draw our projection lines. Tapos, connect natin ito, no? Kasi we know that dyan natin makukuha yung distances. Okay? So, take my compass. Tag natin. And we want to look for, ano bang hinahanap natin? D muna. So, 1, 2 views away. It's this one. So, lipat natin siya dito. This is, and I'm going faster na ngayon class, no? Hindi ko na siya parang ine-emphasize as much. So, hopefully, nasusundan nyo pa rin naman siya. So, ito, dito siya. This is, we're working on this view, no? So, we want 2 views away. 1, 2. So, dapat dito. So, and transfer natin siya papunta dito. Okay? Ay, sorry. This is supposed to be D, no? D. Tapos ito yung C. Okay? So, now that we have our distances, connect natin siya. This is now true length. Tama? Now, we find the point view. So, gagawa tayo ng perpendicular na reference plane. No? So, if you take this line, and again, in your case, you'll do the, parang gagawa kayo ng sliding triangle technique. So, ito, gagawa tayo ng reference line dito. So, this reference line now here is, this is ARP2 separating, this reference line or folding line separates ARP2 and ARP1. Okay? Now, if I do a projection line na ganyan, tama? Since it's perpendicular tong line na to sa itong folding line na to or reference line, then dapat it makes sense na iisa lang yung projection line nila. Tama, no? This projection line right here is the projection line of both C and D. Okay? Now, if I take the distance, so I'm working on this view, 2 views away, 1, 2. Therefore, ito yung kukunin natin. And again, same lang tong distance na to, no? Because they are parallel. So, dapat ito, we do this. This is now the location of C and D. Okay? So, the way we label this point is we can do CD, tama? Kasi point CD siya, or we can do DC. Pero the proper way to do this is you look at, you look at which line is closer to the reference plane. Okay, so if you look at this, or which point I mean is closer to the reference plane. So this is our reference plane or folding line or reference line. Those terms are just interchangeable. No? I'll use them interchangeably in this discussion. No? So ito, ang closer point sa akin is point D. Therefore, dapat si point D yung mauna. So I call this as point DC. Okay, because D is closer to this reference plane or reference line here. Okay, so if I were to finalize this, let's use our white marker. So this is point, no, pwedeng sigurong diretso pala. C, D, and ito, naka-point view na siya. This is DC. And to indicate na naka-point view siya, I usually write it this way, no? Or this is usually what how we write it. So point DC shown in its point view. So PV means point view. Tapos ito, pwede natin siyang i-finalize, true length. Okay? And we can also include itong mga reference plane natin as a final answer, no? Okay? So parang ganyan. So if I were to dim down the lights, dim down the lights, dim down the ano no, the construction lines, dapat na medyo ganito yung final answer natin. Okay? So that's line CD shown in its true length, tapos line point DC, line CD shown in its point view, that is shown as point DC in this ARP2 view. No? Okay? Meron pa mga questions. No? So Nika asks, Sir, saan po galing yung length ng DC? Okay. So yung length ng DC, yung dito, no? Ito yung tinatanong mo, Nika, no? This distance right here. So nanggaling siya sa, di ba, 2 views away. So that's 1, 2. So dapat dito natin siya kukunin. Okay? And since same lang kasi ang distance nito because they are parallel, no? Same lang to. So kahit isa lang yung i-measure nyo. So hindi nyo kailangan i-measure twice, no? Kasi para sayang sa oras, no? So pwedeng ang gawin nyo is measure nyo lang from here, from C, tapos lipat nyo lang siya dito. They are the same distance. Kung dito ka nag-measure, you should get the same distance, no? And you can check. Pwede rin i-check nyo using your compass kasi madali lang naman mag-check, no? Kung same nga ba sila. To prove na parallel yung ginawa nyo. Kasi minsan, crooked yung line na nagawa pala, no? And this is maybe a source of error na rin. Minsan, instead of doing a parallel line, medyo ganyan, kunwari crooked. So in this case, iba na yung distance na to sa distance na to. And that's the case wherein nagkakaroon ng inaccuracies. So just make sure na dapat parallel talaga nagawa nyo para itong distance na to is the same distance right here. Okay? So from there, dapat makukuha nyo na to yung distance na to. Hopefully, I answered your question, Nika, no? Tapos, next is si Lawrence. Lawrence asks, pwede ba ma-explain yung plate 6, yung sa true length po kapag 2 lines na yung involved? Hindi ko pwedeng, kasi it's part of the problem, Lawrence, no? Pero, siguro, ang mabibigay ko na clue is you can use this, yung observation natin dito, no? That's the clue, no? Mayroon tayong observation dito. Sabi natin na if meron tayong true length, always yung adjacent na adjacent na line will always be parallel, no? So you can use that observations. Can I say more? Pwede ko ba sabihin? Kaso pag sinabi ko baka parang it ruins the fun, no? So trying to solve it. Pero isa yun sa magagamit nyo, no? Yung property na yun. Isa din pala. Ito. Baka Fico magagamit nyo din to na property na to. Isang property din. Baka hindi nyo pala magagamit to, no? Itong observation dito. Pwede if you're creative. Pero ang more of ang magagamit nyo pala na observation is actually itong gagawin natin ngayon. Itong CD. So ito, from the PV, draw any adjacent reference plane. No? So let's try to do that first. Tapos siguro baka mas makikita nyo yung ibig kong sabihin. So kunwari, if I draw a random reference plane, let's just do something like, kunwari ganyan. Let's draw this reference plane. No? So if that's my reference plane, then I should create this one. No? Ganyan. So that's line DC. And since it's a point, dapat si projection line of C and projection line of D are the same. No? So this is the projection line of both C and D. Tama? In the same way na ito, projection line of both C and D din. Ito, no? Ito, projection C and D. Okay? So, let's try to find, no? And siguro right now, most of you have maybe figured it out on your own. No? So this is I'm working at this view, so 2 views away, 1, 2. So dapat dito ako sa ARP1 nagme-measure. So ito, yan. That's the location of point D. Tapos take my compass again. This is the location of point C naman. Kaso lagpas siya. Yun, ito yung isa sa issue no, kasi hindi ako naging masyadong conservative. So, siguro mas less yung problem ko if nilapit ko na lang yung ano na to, yung reference plane na to. If I did a reference plane dito, siguro kakasya siya. Pero since ayoko nang ulitin, no, ang gawin ko na lang, lakihan ko na lang yung paper ko. So, yan. So, medyo, I'm sort of cheating right now, no? Pero cheating is bad, guys, ha? Pero ito, ibang form of cheating naman to. Ito yung parang acceptable cheating. Okay? So, if this is the case, ito, class, no? Extend ko na lang. Nope. Ano yung... So, dapat dito si location, si C. So, what we'll notice is, yung adjacent, let's do final answer. Ito. What you'll notice, class, is any view adjacent to the... Oh, dito pala dapat. Any view that is adjacent to the point view is actually always a true length view. Okay? Or it is a view that shows the line in its true length. Okay? So kahit ano pa yan, no? If I do this way, or that way, it's always a true length. No? And I can probably show it in real life. No? So kunwari, pakita ko muna ulit yung mukha ko. So kunwari, kung naka-true length siya ng ganyan, kunwari, naka-show siya in its true, point view pala, I'm sorry, point view, then any reference plane na gagawin ko, and again, take note the reference planes are constructed in such a way na perpendicular dapat yung magkatabi, no, na reference planes or adjacent planes. So kung ganyan, so if I do a reference plane dito, ikot ko ng ganyan, true length siya. So regardless of what orientation the reference plane is, so kunwari ganyan, ikot ko ng ganyan, so that's an auxiliary reference plane dito, no? So ang nangyari is true length pa rin siya. So does that make sense? Any orientation na ginawa ko, ito kung naka-point view siya, kahit ano pang kasunod na reference plane nito, since it's always orthogonal, dapat it will always show it in its true length. Okay? So hopefully that's enough visualization, no? Para ma-imagine nyo kung bakit siya nag-work. Okay? So dito, I think this will help you solve the the problem. Ito. You can use this tong property na to para ma-solve yung sa plate number 6, no? Okay. Okay. Tapos Bill asks, sir, kailangan rin po ba naka-HB yung true length and reference plane kung PV lang yung hinihingi? Technically hindi kailangan, no? Pero usually kasi yung if kung etong yung hinihingi yung point view, no? Usually merong statement na complete all views dyan. Parang rare ako makakita ng isang problem na humihingi ng point view or humingi ng edge view or any other view na hindi nilalagyan ng complete all views, no? So, pagka sinabing complete all views, kailangan nyong i-finalize lahat ng mga reference planes, pati itong TL kasi complete all views eh. Okay? So, I hope that answers your question, Bill, no? Pero if ang tanong lang talaga is etong no, if it's stated as is, kunwari ito walang nakalagay na complete all views, then technically ito lang talaga ang i-finalize nyo. Pwedeng hindi nyo considered as construction lines na lang tong mga to. Yun nandito. We can consider this as construction lines na lang. Tapos ito lang yung final answer. Okay? Pero if I were you, I don't know, it's always good practice na when it's a reference plane, na it's always good practice na i-finalize siya, no? Or i-HB natin siya. Okay? Did I answer your question, Bill? Okay. Answer naman. Okay. So, okay tayo dito? So, yan. That's for, TL and PV. And next naman natin is, paano naman natin kukunin yung edge view and true size ng, ng planes. So, this is similar, no? If you think about it, kung analogous siya with true length and PB, no? So for planes, instead of having a true length, ang planes has a true size, no? So same concept sa ano natin, sa ano, pencil, na true length siya pag siya yung maximum length. So what actually happens is if you have a plane, wala kasi akong triangle dito, no? So I can't probably show you. Pero parang ang concept is if a plane is shown in its true size, then all of the lines contained in the plane. So for example, if I found the true size of a plane, so let's just say ito yung true size ng plane. True size siya. Then any line that I create within this true size is actually a true length. So this is a true length to, true length. And let's just say na kunwari, nag-create ako ng line dito, which is also part of the plane. No? It's within the plane. This is also a true length. If I create something like this is also a true length. Kahit na mag-create ako ng squiggly line, kunwari ganyan, no? True length pa rin to. Kumbaga, it is shown in its true length and it is not for shortened in any, ano, no? Okay, so whenever a plane is shown in its true size, it means that all of the lines contained in it are in its true length. Okay, and okay, yan na natin. Okay, so kung ang analogy naman is kung merong true at kung true length siya for a line, then sa plane it's a true size. Tapos kung ang lines naman merong point view, sa planes naman meron tinatawag na edge view. Now, the edge view is exactly as it sounds. No, we are looking at the plane from its edge. So, if a line appears as a point in its point view, then a plane will appear as a line in its edge view. Okay? So, parang kunwari, if this is your plane, kunwari itong kamay ko plane to, no? Then, looking at the edge view is just looking at it from this view, no? Na it will appear as if it were a line. Parang ganyan. Okay, so let's try to do edge view. Okay, so the first thing we do is um ito a bit of theory to, no? Sabi ko hindi ako magte-theory pero sige, sasabihin ko na lang kasi pa ko makakatulong siya sa discussion, no? So, for example, if you have a ano, no? If you have a plane and siguro lipat natin. We take a random. Well, ito notebook na to. Ay green, kulay green kaya. ito. Meron tayong itong plane na to, no? Itong plane na to. Now try to imagine one of the screwdrivers here is a line, no? So meron tayong mga screwdriver contained in this plane. Now, if kunwari yung screwdriver, isang screwdriver dyan, gusto kong makita yung point view na. So I look at it from the point view. Naturally, ang mangyayari actually is yung buong plane na to will appear in its edge view. Okay? So kahit ano pang line yung gagamitin ko, no? So kunwari itong pencil na to, if it's were contained in the plane, no? If I look at this line in its point view, kunwari ganyan, ipo-point view ko siya, ang ganyan, automatic si plane nagiging edge view siya. Okay? So, if that's the case, then kung babalik tayo sa engineering drawing natin, we only need actually a true length, no? So if we were to find a true length of a plane, or a true length contained in the plane, then automatic dapat if we look at the point view of that particular line that is contained in the plane that is in its true length, ang mangyayari is automatic lahat ng plane magiging edge view na rin siya. Parang susunod na lang siya. Okay? So, try natin. Let's try it here, no? If you look at it, conveniently sa plane na to, 1, 2 is parallel to the folding line right here that separates HRP and FRP. Okay, so very convenient yan sa atin, no? Kasi since parallel yan, we know that this is true length, C1, 2. Then what we can actually do is, and let me just connect it now before I proceed. Connect ko lang to and as well as ito. So what I can actually do is, just find the point view of this true length right here. So hindi ko na kailangan actually ng additional views pa. Tama? So medyo tipid tayo sa views dito, no? Okay, so if I do, since true length na to, pwedeng ganyan siya. Let's do a perpendicular reference plane. No? Okay, perpendicular. Okay, so gagawa tayo ng ano, I think, ilapit ko na lang konti, mga somewhere ganyan, no, para para hindi tayo lumagpas. So this is my reference, auxiliary reference plane. So I'll label this as ARP1. So label ko lang as ARP1. No? Yes, ito, this is, saan ba ako galing? FRP. So this separates ARP1 and FRP. Okay? So project tayo. Tapos ipo-project din natin tong 3. So again, notice na si projection line of both 1 and 2 is the same projection line, no? Kasi perpendicular to, and they are sinadya ko na itong reference plane is perpendicular to this line. Okay? So kunin natin yung compass. Kunin ko lang compass from this, ano, no? Okay. Now, adjust natin siya. So 2 views away. So we're working in this ARP, ano, no? We're working with the ARP1 view dito. Therefore, 2 views away is 1, 2. Dapat HRP yung measurement natin. And we use the lines, no? Itong folding lines. So that's the first folding line, second folding line. So dapat, dito yung basis na distances natin. Okay? So ARP1, unahin muna natin si point 3, no? Point 3 is this point right here. Lipat natin siya. Like so. Now I have found my point 3. Ito si point 3. Okay? Now, ito, lipat natin yung compass. We'll find point 1 and 2 naman. And again, dahil parallel sila, they should have the same distance. So, ito should be equal to this distance right here. Tama? So, lipat natin siya dito. So again, I'm working on ARP1, 2 views away, 1, 2. Dapat HRP ang reference. Okay? So, yan. Let's label this as, ano ba to? Point. So, is it, quick question, no? Or parang checkpoint. Is it 1, 2 or 2, 1? Based sa sinabi ko kanina. Should I label this as 1, 2 or 2, 1? 1, 2. May nagsagot ng 1, 2. Yung iba, ayun, marami namang nagsagot ng 1, 2. So, it's 1, 2, no? Tama yung sagot nyo, class. So, it's 1, 2 kasi mas malapit yung 1 kaysa kay 2 when viewed from this one. Okay. So, we label this as point 1, 2 and lagyan natin ng PV para to indicate na naka-point view siya. Now, we can connect this. This is now, and for edge view, EV naman yung nilalagay natin. Okay? And actually, but medyo weird yung ano ko. Okay lang yun. Magigets nyo naman. So, ito, this is 1, 2, plane 1, 2, 3 in its edge view. Okay? That's plane 1, 2, 3 in its edge view. Now that we've found the edge view, so we've done this one. Okay na tayo dyan. Ito tayo. Yan. Determine the true size naman tayo. So, di ba sabi natin kanina, pagka meron tayong true length, meron tayong point view, pagka gusto natin ma-expose yung, sorry, kung meron tayong line na ganito, kung gusto natin makita yung edge view niya, or yung true length niya, kailangan natin i-view siya in a parallel reference plane. Parang ganyan, no? So dito sa edge view actually, parang gusto lang natin is, parang ganun din yung concept, no? We view it in a parallel reference plane. Kasi what happens is, since this reference plane here is parallel to this edge view, ang mangyayari is all of these lines, di ba sabi natin, if you have kunwari ito, 1, 2, if parallel yung folding line na to, ang kalalabasan na adjacent view is actually a true length. And since edge view to, ibig sabihin, lahat ng lines na to, contained in this edge view of the plane is actually parallel to this yellow line na ginawa ko. Tama? Therefore, pagka pinroject ko siya ng ganyan, if I project it this way, that way, all of those lines will be true length. Tapos, kung true length lahat ng ng lines, then dapat yung plane natin mismo true size na rin. Tama, no? So let's try to do that. So we create a parallel reference plane, no? So medyo ididikit ko siya konti kasi I'm afraid na lumagpas ako doon. So kaya ko naman siyang siguro ganyan, no? I think that's enough, no? And just to differentiate, no, kasi baka malito kayo, let's do a different color naman sa reference plane. I should have done different colors pala from the start, no, to differentiate. Although, feel ko naman hindi kayo na-confuse at all. So, gawa tayo ng projection lines. Ng paganyan. So, let's measure distances naman. So, I'm working on, and let's label this, label natin siya. This is actually ARP1. Tama? This is separating ARP1 and let's use yellow as well, no? Para mas consistent tayo. ARP1. This is ARP2. Okay? So, ito, ang distance niya, we are working here, no? Tama, nandito tayo na view. So, that's 2 views away is 1, 2. Dapat ito, dito yung measurement ng distances natin. And if you use the reference lines or folding lines as basis, then this is the first folding line. This is the second folding line. So again, 2 views away, 2 folding lines away. Okay? So measure natin. Yeah, pwede na i-reset yung view, no? Let's use our compass. So again, 1, 2. So ito siya. So, kailangan natin is 0.1. Sorry. 0.1, this one. This is 0.1 right here. Tapos, hanapin natin si 0.2. 0.2. Take my compass. Measure natin. Ito siya. Oop. So, 0.2 is also in this projection line right here, no? Tama? So, tama. If you remember, dapat pagka point view siya, always true length yung lalabas dito. And you can check as well, no? Pare, let's just check, no? Dapat, kung true length, totoong true length to, dapat itong distance na to is equal to this distance. Itong 1, 2 na to. And you can see, equal nga sila. 1, 2, no? So, that's one way to check if accurate yung gawa nyo class, no? So, true length siya. And last natin distance is si 0.3 naman. 0.3. So, we measure from ito. Medyo kulang yung ginawa ko pala. Dapat ganyan siya. Okay? So, if we complete it, and I can probably use, I don't know, white marker na para indicate that it is a final answer. If I do this, then this is true size of plane 1, 2, 3. Tama? Tapos ito, finalize na rin natin. This is the edge view of plane 1, 2, 3. Okay? Tapos yan. In this case, hindi ko na parang darken yung mga ARP ko. Pero you should darken that if complete all views yung question, no? Ito wala naman sinabing complete all views, so pwedeng iwan na lang natin as is. So we have edge view, we have true size. So okay na tayo. Okay? Now before we go to our break, pwede natin try naman to, no? This is the same lang, draw edge view and true size. Okay, so notice dito class, no? But before I proceed, okay ba kayo? Okay ba tayo dito? Saan po pwede makita yung mga recorded meetings? Nasa ano natin, Google Chat. Sige pa, I can probably show it, no? Chat. Wait lang class. Medyo bumagal yung internet ko. For some reason. While we're waiting, no? Hindi naman ako choppy, no? Tama? Okay naman. Eh, if you look at our ano class, no? Let me shift to browser. Chrome yan. So yeah, if you look at our ano, ES1 yung group chat natin, ito. Look at the files tab. Tapos may nilagay akong links dito. So if you look at the links, makikita nyo dapat dito sa links folder na to, no. Ito, nandito yung mga synchronous session natin. So we have the first session, syllabus, merong JomCon, and ito yung next JomCon natin, Polygons Arc. So if you click that link, mapupuntahan nyo um, yung YouTube video niya. But I'll probably organize this more, no? Maybe I can do para in case lang na malilito kayo dito. Then I can probably dito sa YouTube ko, sa channel na to, baka i-organize ko na lang per class. So kunwari ES1, nandito lahat ng mga latest uploads na for ES1. Ganun na lang siguro. Ay, hindi pala naka-shift yung ano sa ulit dito. Ito siya class, sorry. Ulit dito sa ano natin, no. This is our ES1 chat group. ES1 chat group. Punta kayo sa files. Sa files, merong links na ano na parang document. Tapos hanapin niyo lang dito. So makikita niyo yung itong links na to. Tapos bukod diyan, ina-upload ko na rin pala yung ano yung mga synchronous files na ginamit natin. So if you view this, you'll actually have a link to all of the ano no. So kunwari yung first na ginawa natin, ito. Tapos meron din yung pangalawa at pangatlo, no. Yan. So maybe this could help you as well, no. So yung after this session, lahat ng nagawa natin, I'll save it as PDF tapos i-upload ko na rin dito sa sync files, no. Okay? Tapos i-organize ko na rin yung YouTube channel ko para at least if search nyo lang ako sa YouTube tapos tingnan nyo yung YouTube channel tapos hanapin nyo yung ES1 na parang ano doon, shelf or grouping. Okay? So, balik tayo dito, no? So dito, this is the same, no? Tama? Same problem pero notice na dito, same lang yung pinapanap, edge view and true size. Pero hindi tulad siya ng plane 1, 2, 3 dito which has conveniently contained a true length, no? Dito naman wala tayong convenient na true length. Okay? So tingin niyo ano yung best way to solve this? You might argue that kailangan ko bang isang auxiliary reference plane muna para maging true length, kunwari si 2, 3. Kunwari ganyan, 2, 3. Tapos tsaka ko siya, no? So that's one additional view, no? Para lang ma-produce yung true length so that I can produce a edge view. Pwede naman, you can do that method, pero a simpler method actually is to produce a true length na dito sa side na to. Hanap tayo ng isang line na true length na siya dito. Kasi di ba, ang planes naman is a collection of lines. So if I do this, if I do something like a parallel line like that. So this is, let's just call it 1, 1 prime. No? So itong line 1, 1 prime right here, and masyado makapal siya. Ganyan. So if I do something like that, that's line 1, 1 prime, no? Line 1, 1 prime is parallel to HRP. Therefore, if I project line 1, 1 prime here, ganyan, and I know that line, itong 1 prime na point na to is in between 2 and 3. Therefore, if I do a projection line, it should also be between 2 and 3. So, ito, common mistake to class, no? Minsan, ang ginagawa na estudyante pag ganyan, minsan dito nila nilalagay. So, hindi nagme-make sense yan, no? Dapat, ilalagay niyo siya dito sa yung same location. Kasi this is, di ba, a line is just a collection of points, no? So, pwedeng maraming points yan. And one of those points is 1 prime. Tama? So, dapat, it's between 2 and 3. If I project it downwards, then line 1 prime should also be between 2 and 3. Now, if I connect this to, this line right here is actually a true length. Tama, no? And ang may make sense na true length siya, di ba? Kasi true length siya kasi parallel siya dito eh. So, yung view before sa kanya, it's parallel to the reference line. So, in a way, parang uh, nag-force ako ng sarili ko or nag-create ako ng sarili kong true length para mas mapadali ko yung calculation ko or yung parang subsequent na mga views na gagawin ko. So dito, I can just from here, true length, meron akong true length, I can do the same steps na ginawa natin dito. Okay? So, hindi ko siguro na ipapakita yun, no? I think you can do it on your own. So, ito, parang gaganyan lang naman siya. So, since true length to, si 1, 1 prime will appear in its point view. And if it's in its point view, then automatic mag-edge view na yung, ano no, say plane 1, 2, 3. And from the edge view, pwede kayong mag-true size na using a parallel line. Okay? So, in the interest of time, no, hindi ko na ipapakita. Break tayo, 10 minutes. You can grab a quick snack siguro, no? Although gutom na tayo lahat. Kung kaya nyo mag-lunch in 10 minutes or pwede naman mag-lunch kayo kasi nasa comfort of your own homes naman kayo, no? So, you can have your lunch for 10 minutes and balik tayo mga 11:52. Okay? Let's resume 11:52 tapos cover natin yung second half ng discussion natin which will be all about parallelism of lines and planes. No? I think that lesson will be easier no? As compared to this edge view and true size. Okay? Okay. Pero siguro pag sinubmit ko tong or binigay ko sa inyo tong file na to, lalagyan ko na rin ng sagot na tong part na to. Although hindi na natin i-discuss sa session na to. Okay lang ba? Okay, I think marami nag-thumbs up. Sige, break muna tayo for 10 minutes. Tapos balik tayo. Bye guys. Oh, mali. Ito pala. Let's resume recording. Tapos parallel lines naman tayo. Sakit lang klasa. Projection. Mm. Okay. Kita ba screen ko? Hindi pa pala. Ayan. Okay. Narinig na ba ako? Hello? Hello? Mic check. Okay. Thank you for the feedback, everyone. Okay. So, let's start with parallelism, no? So, but before that, kailangan muna natin i-define tong a few relationships, no? Of lines and planes in space. So we have parallel. So parallel is when two lines um, or two lines will never, if they have the same direction, then they will never meet despite kahit i-extend natin sila, no? So that is those are parallel lines. And we can extend that definition to parallel planes as well, no? So when two planes have the same normal, yung tawag namin, no? Have the same normal. So a normal is this is the for vectors, no? Although hindi nyo kailangan matandaan to. Pero if you have, for example, a plane, and if you take a perpendicular line to that plane, we call this as a normal vector, no? So vectors, and this is one of the definition of perpendicular parallel planes, no? So if you have two planes which have the same normal, so same yung direction ng normal nila, then they are parallel planes. Okay, so parang ganon, if you extend this planes, kunwari i-extend mo yung edges na to, then if these two planes are parallel to each other, then they will never intersect, no? Okay, perpendicular naman is when you have two intersecting lines and they form a right angle with each other. So yun yung perpendicular lines. Now for planes naman, if you take the edge view of these two intersecting planes, and sometimes kahit hindi intersecting, no? Pero when once extended, they will meet at a line of intersection. Ito LOI na to. And this LOI right here, if you take the edge view, so you view it from here, ito yung mata nyo, line of sight. View nyo siya ng ganyan, so it will look like an edge view, no? Edge view, edge view. It will also produce a perpendicular line. And actually, yung mga ano natin, reference planes natin, yung HRP, PRP, and FRP, uh, they are actually perpendicular planes, no? Or sometimes known as orthogonal planes. Okay. Now, you have intersecting and non-intersecting ano, no, lines. So, intersecting muna tayo. Pag intersecting, if two lines intersect, then they should have a common point, no? Yung common point na to, sometimes known as an intersection point, no? Pero more on that later na, siguro sa mga future lessons, di-discuss naman to. Then you have also intersecting line and plane. So for example, if you have a plane, then a line intersects this plane, then we call this point as your piercing point. Okay, that's piercing point. Tapos papasok siya, lalabas, parang ganyan. Tapos and last, yung medyo na-discuss ko na rin, yung intersecting plane. So if you have two planes na kunwari ganyan, then they can intersect, no? So let me just draw it something like that. Yan. And they will intersect at an intersecting line, no? And this, we call this as a line of intersection. And dapat wala to. Dapat ganyan siya. Parang ganyan. So I hope you can imagine, no? Parang dalawang piatos or chips, Mr. Chips na nag-intersect. Tapos nag-meet sila dito sa line of intersection na yan. Okay? So those are intersecting na relationships. Tapos pagka non-intersecting naman, so two planes can be non-intersecting, no? Or lines as well can be non-intersecting. If the planes are non-intersecting, then parallel sila. Tama? Pero for lines, a line uh, can be non-intersecting despite not being parallel to each other. Okay? So mahirap siya i-drawing dito, no? So feel ko mas madaling explain kung if I do Parang ganito. So, let's take itong dalawang straw na to. Pare, may dalawang straw ako, no? Ito. Tapos, pwede sila maging parallel. Kung parallel sila, hindi sila mag-intersect. Pero pwede rin naman na hindi sila parallel, something like this. So, you can see na hindi sila parallel, no? Ganyan. Pero, pwedeng hindi sila intersecting na ganyan. Tama? Not parallel. Oop, hindi sila parallel. Pero once I view it in another plane, hindi naman sila intersecting as well. No? So you can have a relationship like that. And we call that as... So ang tawag natin sa mga ganun is our skew lines. No? So skew lines are not intersecting and not parallel lines. Okay? So okay na tayo sa mga different relationship. No? And siguro preview na lang din yon sa future episodes natin. Or future episodes. Parang future lessons pala. Okay? So ito, we start with a parallel line. So determining parallelism of lines is fairly simple lang, no? So one thing that we'll notice with parallel lines is that, and you can try this out for yourself, no? Take two pencils, tapos gawin nyo silang truly parallel to each other, no? And try to rotate them in any view, parang ganun. And you'll notice that if they are truly parallel to each other, ang mangyayari is in all of those views, they will appear parallel. Okay? So meaning, to prove that two lines are parallel, then you just need to prove na parallel sila into views. Okay? So for example, if you have this one, this line 1, 2 right here, and this is how we write the proof, no? So 1, 2, and I'll just place it here. 1, 2 is parallel to AB. Tapos dito rin 1, 2 is parallel to AB. Therefore, 1, 2 is parallel to AB. Parang weird ng proof, no? So, mas maganda kung ang gawin ko is another way to do it is 1, 2 is parallel to AB in HRP. 1, 2 is parallel to AB in FRP. And then therefore, and this is my proof, 1, 2 is parallel to AB. Okay? So, para hindi kayo malito class, no, minsan dito sa course na to, I'll use terms like truly and apparently. Okay? For the purpose of ano lang, no, parang of the discussion, pagka sinabi kong truly parallel, ang ibig kong sabihin nun is that in space, they display true parallelism. Okay? Pero pag sinabi ko namang apparently parallel, then I'm just talking about one particular view. Okay? So malinaw ba 'yon? So, in that sense, parang I'm saying here that 1, 2 is apparently parallel to AB as seen in HRP. Tapos 1, 2 is also apparently parallel to AB as seen in FRP. Therefore, they are truly parallel to each other. Okay? So, okay tayo doon? Medyo madali lang, no? Madali lang yung proof ng parallelism. So the only case wherein you need, so in this particular case, no, kung given yung two views na to, you don't actually need additional views. And in fact, if you do an additional view, gagawa tayo ng additional view dito, no? Dapat yung additional view natin will be, ano ba itong? Ay, kasi nakaano ako. Wait. Nothing's wrong. Saglit lang class. Image. Ano ba ito? Mode. Ayan. So, dito class, if I do a parallel line dito, or a random line dyan, pagka pinroject ko tong mga lines na to, dapat ang lalabas is parallel pa rin sila. In any view, dapat if they are truly parallel to each other, and we have proven it here, no, na truly parallel sila, then they will be also parallel in that adjacent view or additional view. Okay? So the only parang exception to that is when the lines are yung ano no exception to the parang you only need two views na rule is when the lines are perpendicular to the reference plane. So kasi if you look at it, this is our folding line, no, or our reference line or reference plane. And if you look at it, etong ano natin lines are actually perpendicular to it. So despite them looking like they are parallel, no? Kasi two adjacent views, automatic mukha naman silang parallel, no? Tama? Parallel dito, parallel din dito. Pero we can't use this uh, as proof because of because perpendicular sila doon sa reference line natin. So that's the same as ano no, parang meron kang let me take me ano. So kunwari, meron tayong ano no, yung two parallel lines, yung ganyan, parallel siya. So kunwari, mukha silang parallel pag ganyan, no? Tama? Pero if you look at it from another view na perpendicular dito sa view na to, ikot lang siya ng ganyan, which is mukha pa rin sila parallel. So the way you prove na hindi sila parallel is you look at another view such as this one. So you can see na hindi talaga sila parallel. Skewed sila in a way. Parang ganyan. Okay? So kailangan natin i-prove na hindi truly parallel tong planes na to without or i-prove natin na truly parallel yung planes na to at hindi sila just skewed, no? Okay? So for this case, kailangan natin ng additional view and you can do any additional view, no? Pwedeng ganyan, pwedeng dito, pwedeng dyan. Pero the easiest way is just to do a additional view that is perpendicular to or parallel to the lines themselves, no? So ito, I just like to do siguro malaki yung space dito. I can probably do this, no? So I'm creating a perpendicular reference plane papunta dyan. And actually, ito, PRP na rin to, no? Because para siyang yung other side, yung left side, kumbaga, ng PRP. Okay? So we can say na ito ay PRP. Pero if you're not sure, then you just label it as ARP1, no? Pero ako, I'm confident na PRP din to. Okay, so this is HRP. So we are separating PRP and HRP. And in fact, kahit dito, no, if I do the perpendicular reference plane din dito, that's also PRP, no? Pero as viewed on the left side naman, which is just the same. So siguro para mas ma-imagine nyo, just look at the box, no? Yung sinabi natin kanina, kunwari ganyan. If this is HRP, this is PRP, and this is FRP, then ito, parang itong line na to is actually this line right here. So siya yung nagse-separate ng HRP tsaka yung left side na PRP. Tama? So similarly, if dito naman ako gumawa, so from this view to this view, parang ito naman siya, itong line naman na yun. Okay? So itong line na to, therefore, yung nakikita ko is yung parang nasa opposite end, no, yung PRP sa left side. So kung pwede nating isipin na ito ay PRP na right side, merong dun sa kabila, PRP na nasa left side. Okay, so the folding lines are actually just this line, no? Ito kasi siya. So sila yung magse-separate ng mga different views na yun. Okay? So you can do it this way or this way. Doesn't really matter. Dito gawin lang natin. So this is PRP and ano natin, no? And same ba? Same lang yung projection line ng 1 and 2. And in fact, kahit si Y pala, same lang yung projection line niya. So 2A, Y have the same projection lines. Kailangan natin is itong X. Magkaiba si X. Let me double check, ha? Kasi mura kang sinadya ata. Same lang pala. Okay. So, same lang ang projection line ni 2A and Y. Si 1 magkaiba pero si B and X are the same, no? So, let's connect this para meron tayong basis ng distances. And kunin natin yung compass natin, no? So, two views away. So, that's first view, second view. Sorry. This is the view we're operating at, PRP. Move two views, so 1, 2. Okay. So, we measure distance from this reference plane right here. Measure tayo ng 1 muna. So, this is just a question of ano lang, no? Transferring distances. So we have 1. Next is 2 naman. 2 is this one. 2. Next is A. Let's do A. Or B na lang muna. Actually, same sila, no? Oh, wait. Bakit same sila? Same nga sila. Ay, wait. Nag-resume ba ako ng recording? Okay, nag-resume naman. Kinabahan ako doon. So, A and B are the same distance away, no? So, actually, A is here. No, sorry. I mean, uh, 2 and B are the same distance. So, si 2. So, si B actually nandito. Okay? Tapos si A, kunin natin si A. This distance, measure natin siya from here. This is A. And you can clearly see, no? You connect 1 and 2 right here, and B and A. Hindi sila parallel. No? Skewed actually sila. Okay? Now let's check X and Y. Ito naman, X. So, X is, nasan si X? Dito dapat. This is X. Oh. X. And lastly, we transfer Y, which is this distance. Okay? Transfer natin. Y is here, no? And we can see that only X, Y. So we can prove here, no? Parang ano natin. XY is parallel to 1, 2 in PRP. Tapos XY is parallel to 1, 2 in HRP. Pwede HRP, pwede rin yung FRP, no? Therefore, XY is truly parallel to 1, 2. Okay? And we can say the same for ano, no? Hindi natin masasabi the same for 1, 2 and AB as well as XY and AB, no? Kasi si AB is a skewed line, no? Okay? So I say skewed because dito hindi naman sila nag-intersect pero hindi rin parallel. Therefore, skewed sila. Okay? Malinaw ba 'yan? Make sense? Yeah, probably final answer natin to. Okay. And ganyan. 1, 2, Y, X, B, and A. And ito, final answer din pala to. So, gawin ko na lang gawin ko white lang to. Okay? Okay na yan. Okay, malinaw ba? Questions? Are we okay with parallel lines? Okay, so kailangan lang tandaan nyo is dapat parallel yung kailangan siyang parallel in at least two views, no? But the only exception is if ganito yung arrangement when the two views are when the lines are perpendicular to the folding line of the two views given. Okay? Okay, so mukhang okay tayo. Marami naman nag-thumbs up. Let's proceed with the last lesson for today, which is now parallel line parallel to a plane. Hindi pa pala last lesson. Last, may isa pa pala. Plane parallel to another plane. Okay? So let's do this. And RGB. Okay, let's do this. No, let's determine whether the line is parallel to the given plane. So the way we determine if a line is parallel to a given plane is that we just look at, I don't know, a line contained in the plane. May question pala. Angelina asks, kasama po talaga sa final answer kahit po yung intersecting line? Kasama siya kasi kumbaga you're proving if they are parallel or not. So, kailangan nyo ipakita na which are parallel and which is not parallel. Okay. So, dito naman, um, we want to prove that a line is parallel to another uh, to a plane, no? And the way we do that is dapat if there is a line contained in the plane that is truly parallel to the given line, then automatic yung plane is parallel to that line as well. Okay? So let's put it in terms of itong AB and 1, 2, 3, no? If there contains a line that is parallel, if 1, 2, 3, so wait natin, no? So if plane 1, 2, 3 contains a line that is truly parallel to AB, then yung buong plane 1, 2, 3 is already parallel to AB as well. Okay? So let's try to prove that, no? In this particular case, AB, if you look at it, AB is parallel to 1, 3. Tama? Itong AB, parallel siya sa 1, 3. And you can confirm this with your sliding triangle technique, no? Pero for me, I'll just do this, no? I look at that, tapos confirm ko, parallel naman siya. So, yun yung method ko. Okay? So, those are parallel lines. AB and 1, 3 are parallel, no? In this view. So, parang, wait lang. Tapos, in this other view, di ba, pag gusto natin i-prove na parallel yung, truly parallel yung dalawang lines, then they must appear parallel in two consecutive views. Tama na? Or hindi naman consecutive, in two available views. Okay? So, if these are truly parallel, dapat si 1, 3 should be parallel to AB in the second view. And we can see na AB is also parallel to 1, 3 in that view. And since 1, 3 is contained in 1, 2, 3, then automatic, si buong 1, 2, 3 is also parallel to AB. And in fact, if I do a line, no, kunwari lang, gagawa ko ng isa pang plane dito. Let me just create another plane. No? Let's create a random plane. Kunwari, ang random plane ko is this one. A random plane, siguro 1, 4, 5. Itong si 1, 4, 5, it contains itong line 1, 3 as well. No? Ito, kunwari hanggang dyan. Sige, para mas ma-imagine nyo, let's not do 1, 4, 5. No? I'll do 1, something like this. This is 1, ito 4, 5. So ito, kunwari ito si 1, 4, 5 and I'll just bring this down, no? And somewhere dito siguro, si 5. Ito, random lang to, no? But definitely ito, dito siya. Ay, sorry. Between 1 and 3 pala. So if I do ganyan, kunwari lang gumawa ko ng random plane, like so. Parang ganyan. This is also 1, 4, 5. No? Itong 1, 4, 5 na to. And then I can also say na 1, 4, 5 is parallel to AB just because it contains this line 1, 4 right here, which is proven to be parallel to AB. Okay? So as long as the plane contains a line that is truly parallel to that other line, then that other line will be automatically parallel to the entire plane as well. Okay? Malinaw ba yun? Okay, I think that's clear enough, no? So how do we write the proof? So we can write it this way, no? Line 1, 2 is parallel to AB in HRP. And minsan, kung hindi kasya ang space, no, parang ginagano na lang nila, HRP. Tapos, not 1, 2. 1, 3. Tama? Tapos 1, 3 is parallel to AB in FRP. Minsan, ang iba, ang ginagawa nila palakas, isang strategy is nilalagay nila to dito. Yung proof sa kung wherever yung Tapos yung therefore, nilalagay na lang nila either dito or dito dyan. Doesn't matter. Pero ako, I just like to write it in one place lahat. No? So ito, 1, 3, AB, FRP. Tapos ito, minsan hindi na sinusulat to, no? Pero ako, I like to place it. 1, 3 is contained in triangle 1, 2, 3. Therefore, AB or pwedeng, therefore, 1, 2, 3 is parallel to, truly parallel to AB. Parang ganyan. So, you can state it like this, no? And lipat ko na lang to, lagay ko sa notes na lang. Yan. So, parang ganyan yung magiging, ay, hindi ba malito kayo? Lagay ko dito. Para to prove, ito yung proof natin. Again, minsan, hindi na sinusulat to, no? Parang some teachers, hindi na nila pinapasulat to. Para diretso na kasi obvious naman na 1, 3 is contained in 1, 2, 3. Therefore, pwedeng diretso ka na sa itong therefore mo na statement. Okay? So, it depends on you guys. Pero ako, I just like to write this down as well, no? Para mas malinaw yung parang train of thought ko. Okay ba tayo doon? Questions? So, medyo madali lang din, no? Tama? Itong si, line parallel to a given plane. Ang kailangan lang is that we need to find a line contained in the plane that is truly parallel to that line. Wala nang ibibigay. Parang proofs lang. Pag ganito, no, Lawrence, Lawrence asked us if kailangan ba, kung wala na bang i-drawing sa mismong triangles. Pag ganyan, wala nang i-drawing. You just need the proofs, no? Okay? Ito naman, which of the line is parallel to plane 4, 5, 6? So to do this, ang gagawin natin, create tayo ng mga additional lines. No? So the way we like to do it, the way I do it is, kunwari ito, di ba? Kailangan lang mag-prove tayo na merong line contained in the plane that is parallel to the given line. So in this case, ES. So try muna tayo, ES muna, no? So ES, what we'll do is create a parallel line. Itong ES na to. So, I can use any, pwedeng dito ako mag-create, pwedeng dyan ako mag-create. Doesn't really matter, no? Kasi there are infinite number of parang lines contained in this plane that could be parallel to ES, no? So, ang gagawin ko na lang is, I'll just use, para mag-recycle ako ng, quote-unquote, recycle ng points, no? So, I'll just use this 0.6 right here. And I'll draw a parallel line. And obviously, sa case nyo, kumbaga triangle method yung gagamitin nyo. So, ito, 6, 6 prime here is parallel to ES. Tama? So, if they are truly parallel, then dapat, if I project 6, 6 prime here, that line should be parallel to ES as well. Okay? So, project natin. Si 6, 6 prime. And 6 prime here is in between 4 and 5. Therefore, dapat, if projected, in between 4 and 5 pa siya. So, this is 6, 6 prime. So, if we connect 6, 6 prime, and we can see that they are still parallel. No? So, here, ang proof natin, ES, and ito, hindi natin kailangan i-darken, no? Kasi consider as construction lines lang sila. So, ES is parallel to 6, 6 prime in HRP. Tapos, ES appears also is apparently parallel to 6, 6 prime in PRP. Therefore, ES is truly parallel to 6, 6 prime. Okay? Now, we can do, 4, 5, 6 naman. 4, 4, 5, 6. No, sorry. And gagawin ko is 6, 6 prime. Or, pati diretso na lang. 4, 5, 6 contains 6 prime, and therefore ES is truly parallel to 4, 5. I should probably 4, 5, 6. At minsan hindi na nilalagay itong line segment na to, no? Pero sige, ilagay natin for accuracy. No? Ayan. Okay. So that's how we prove 4, 5, 6. Now let's try to look at XY naman. No? No, sorry, YZ. So YZ, we can again create infinite lines. No? Pwedeng ganyan, ganyan, o ganyan. Pero dito, in this particular case, si YZ is parallel to 5, 6. Tama? Pero in this place, in this view right here, sa PRV view, 5, 6 is not parallel to YZ. Therefore, ang proof natin dito, we can say na YZ is parallel to 5, 6 in HRP. Sorry, FRP. Bakit HRP nila yun? FRP. FRP. Pero YZ is not parallel to 5, 6 in PRP. Therefore, automatic YZ is not parallel to 4, 5, 6. Although minsan ito class to hindi na sinusulat because kumbaga ang pinapaprove lang naman sa inyo na parallel yung isang kung parallel yung isang plane or not. Hindi naman pinapaprove na hindi parallel yung isa. You get my meaning? Pwedeng hindi nyo na isulat to. Mas common na nagpo-prove tayo rather than disproving. Parang ganyan. So, pwedeng isulat nyo na lang which line is parallel, then only ES is parallel to 4 plane 4, 5, 6. Okay? Lawrence asks, Sir, basta po may line na nasa plane po ang parallel sa isang line, parallel na po agad si line plane. Yep, that's true. Whether sa loob ng plane or sa size ng plane, yes, that's correct, no? It doesn't matter kung ano nasaan yung line, no? Pwede siya yung edge ng line mismo, pwede kang mag-create ng line yourself or pwede ring no. And maybe we can prove it here, no? So kunwari itong ES, if I create a line, so I create a parallel line dito, no? Okay, I'll create a parallel line. And let's just say ito siya is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just say 7, 8, no? Now let's project 7, 8. So, sorry. Let's project 7, 8. Itong 8 na to is contained in 4, 5, and 7 is contained or in between 4, 6. Okay? You'll notice that 7, 8 will also be parallel because they are truly parallel. No? Truly parallel to 6, 6 primes, which means also that 8, 7 is truly parallel to ES. So pag ganyan, kita natin na regardless of what line we choose, it will always be kung truly parallel sila, then you will always find a line that is contained in the plane that is truly parallel to the to ES, and which subsequently proves na truly parallel yung yung line to the given plane. Okay? Pwede rin if you want, you can experiment as well dito, no? So for example, tong AB, if we draw a parallel line, notice hindi edge yung gagamitin natin, no? So kunwari ganyan. So let's call this XY. XY, If we project XY, tong X na to is in between 1 and 2. So dito, X. Y is between 2 and 3. So dito siya. Y. Okay? Notice how etong XY is parallel to medyo may inaccuracy. Wait. Mali yung placement ni Y. Dapat Diyan. Okay? You'll notice na si XY is parallel to 1, 3, which is also parallel to AB. So, yun. Hindi nagmamatter kung nasaan yung ano no. Nasaan yung line, whether it's an edge or or inside the line. Doesn't matter if they are truly parallel, then magiging parallel pa rin yung, or you will always find one of lines kasi infinite number of parallel lines yan eh. You only need one line to prove parallelism. And if you can find that line, then you have find the proof. You have found the proof in a way. Okay? So malinaw to dito no? Okay tayo dito. Tapos ito minsan sometimes hindi na may pinapa-prove na kung ano siya no, kung hindi sila parallel. Ang importante lang is i-prove mo kung alin yung parallel. Okay? So dito tayo in the example below, draw the edge view of the plane. And this is another way to prove ano no. And sige, hindi ko na iso-spoil na lang siguro. So let's just draw the instruction no. So let's see what we can observe no. In this example, draw the edge view of the plane 1, 2, 3. Okay? Let's draw the edge view, and if we were to draw the edge view, paano natin drawing? Wala tayong convenient line that is already ano no? Tama? Walang convenient line that is already parallel. So let's just do this. So let's do 1, 1 prime para makapag-produce tayo ng own true length natin. Okay? So in this case, our 1, 1 prime is our true length, no? And class, by the way, class, no? Kasi baka you think na required na dito tayo mag-parallel. Actually, pwede ding ang gawin natin is dito tayo nag-parallel, no? So pwedeng 1, 1 prime dito. Tapos iangat natin to pag-akyat 2, 3. Tapos nandito siya. Pwede naman ito yung true length natin. Tapos we can work from here. Para ganyan, para makuha yung edge view. Pwede rin yun, no? Pero it's a matter of how you imagine the space and paano ma-occupy yung ng solution mo yung space mo. If I do on the top side, baka although sa top side mukhang pasok din naman. Pero I'm just thinking na mukhang based on how the problem is stated, I think mas malaki yung space dito sa baba so that if my flow is moving from here to here, mukhang mas malaki yung kumbaga area for me to work on. Okay, so that's why I'm opting to do 1, 1 prime here. No? Tama? Ganyan. Okay, so this 1, 1 prime is true length. So again, true length siya kasi 1, 1 prime is parallel to the folding line. Okay? So if true length to, if I take the edge view, automatic if I take the point view of the true length, it will give me the edge view of the of the plane itself. So let's do that. Yan. See parallel ba siya? Again, use your triangle method para yung sliding triangles nyo para magawa to. And let's do pink. Let's do a teal na reference plane. So ito, didikit ko siya para kasi natatakot ako makukulangan ng space tayo. Tapos, extend natin, no? Ganyan. Si 3, 2, and A. I think 2 and A. Hindi pala ganun kakano. Okay. Then B. Yan. So, meron tayong mga projection lines. Copy ng distances na lang tayo, no? Let me connect para ma-measure ko yung distance, no? Ay, sorry. Ba't ko kinonek ang dapat 3? 3. A and A, B and B. So itong gagawin ko ngayon, same lang to sa yung kanina no na hindi natin na ginawa. Kasi parang sabi ko, kaya nyo na siyang gawin. Okay. Ito, tapos kunin natin yung compass natin. Nasaan yung compass? Okay. A muna. A, let's do A. A is here. Ito, medyo bibilisan ko na class, no? A. And we do B. B is here. So, ito, may chance na malito kayo, no? Kasi sobrang dami ng projection lines. Minsan, hindi nyo na nakikip track kung ano yung minimeasure nyo, no? So, just be vigilant lang siguro. So, yung 2 is here. That's 2. Kahit ako nalilito na din ako minsan nila na pag sobrang daming points ng minimeasure, no? 1 is right here. Tapos next is 3. Last na to, no? Oop. Okay. Oop, naglalag na naman. Wait, let me ulitin natin. 1, 3. Nasaan yung 3? It's supposed to be here. Ito. And ito class, hindi ko napakita kanina no, kasi hindi natin ginawa. Pero pagka kunwari, ginawa natin yung edge view, dapat magla-line up. Kasi di ba sinadya natin na itong 1, 1 prime is in true length. Therefore, pagka naging point view siya, automatic yung plane maging edge view. And you'll notice na if I connect 2 and 3, it's perfectly in line with 1. No? So 1, 2, and 3 perfectly aligns. No? And this is now the edge view. And if you look at AB, no? AB, oh, AB is actually parallel to your 1, 2, 3. Pag ganito class, hindi nyo kailangan ng isa pang view, no? Whenever it is proven that the plane or a line is parallel to the edge view of a plane, then automatic truly parallel yung line na yon. And it makes intuitive sense, no? Just try looking at a parang edge view of a plane and you do a line, kunwari ganyan. If it's truly parallel, then kung naka-edge view itong isa, automatic parallel dapat sila. Tama? So, dito, ang proof natin is we can just say AB is parallel to 1, 2, 3 edge view. Ganyan. In FRP. This is, ano ba to? ARP. In ARP, therefore, automatic AB is parallel to plane 1, 2, 3 because this is an edge view. Okay? And just for just to cover all our bases, let's try doing the itong yung method kanina ito. So let's try doing this. So kunwari AB, so this is AB and we find a parallel line. Ganyan. So let's do 3, 3 prime, no? Yan, I like to recycle points. So kaya 3, 3 prime na lang gagawin ko. Now, if I find 3, 3 prime, itong 3 prime is between 1 and 2. So therefore, dapat dito siya 3, 3 prime. And if I look at it, you can see that AB is parallel to 3, 3 prime. 3, 3 prime. So pwedeng ang proof ko dito is AB. AB is parallel to 3, 3 prime in HRP. AB is parallel to 3, 3 prime in FRP. Therefore, AB is parallel to plane 1, 2, 3. And pwede siguro isingit pa natin yung, kasi hindi ko na isisingit, pwede din isingit nyo yung 1, 2, 3 contains 3, 3 prime. Parang ganun. So we can prove na, ano no, so you can do it this way. So this is another proof class, no, that you can use uh, the edge view to prove that your line is parallel to the plane. Pero if you look at it, parang masyado talagang mas mahirap to, no, kasi you need an additional view to create the edge view para maano. Pero in the original method, itong first method natin, you don't need any additional views, no. You can prove parallelism with the views already given to you. Okay? Etong ano, hindi na natin gagawin to, no. I'll leave it to you guys to ano, to do this on yourselves. We draw the true size of the plane. So if the drawing nyo yung true size of the plane, what can you say about line AB? Dapat, if you did it correctly, what ends up happening is magiging true length si line AB. Okay? And sige, pwede kong ipakita pero hindi ko na gagawin ng lahat. Kasi if I do this, if I create edge, the true size, di ba? What do we need to create the true size? We just need to create a parallel reference plane, no? So we create this one, and this is kunwari ARP1 na to, no? So ARP1, and this is ARP2. Tama? So what you notice is, since parallel sila, ang eventually, pagka pinroject ko to dito, ang mangyayari is, since parallel, magiging true length si AB. Tama? And you can also see this ano, no, in real life. Just try to rotate the pencil. Kung parallel sila, tapos inikot mo ng ganyan, gawin mo true size to, mangyari itong pencil na to maging true length din siya. Tama? So try to explore this on your own. Pero dito obvious naman na magiging true length din si AB, no? And siguro class, meron ako na ano kasi, nag-gather ng mga observations, mga tips and tricks para sa ano, no, yung hindi lang sa parallelism pati doon sa perpendicularity, etc. And I've gathered it, nilagay ko sa isang PDF, tapos i-share ko yung PDF na yun sa inyo para at least if you memorize, hindi naman memorize, if you put those tips and trips and observations to heart, sobrang mas mapapadali yung pag-assess nyo, lalo na pag nag-exam na, no, para sobrang dali makita na yung ano, yung different na relationships between lines and planes in space, no. Okay? So, eto hindi ko na itutuloy, no. Siguro tutuloy ko offline, tapos before sending it to you guys, ibigay ko yung final answer. Pero for this session, hindi na natin gagawin, no, kasi 20 minutes na lang and meron pa tayong last na ano na gagawin, which is parallel planes. Pero eto, okay ba tayo dito? Sa parallel lines and planes, line parallel to a plane. Okay, thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. So proceed tayo sa last lesson natin, no, which is itong parallel planes. How to prove that two planes are parallel, no? Okay. Ito, maganda sana yung explanation dito, no, kaso medyo limited ako, hindi ko talaga kayang in siguro kung nasa face to face tayo, pwede ko ipakita using two triangles, no, kung paano siya nag-work. Pero since medyo mahirap, I'll leave the theory to you guys para ano nyo, no, explore nyo kung bakit ganun yung theory, bakit nagwo-work to. Pero right now, diretso ko na lang gagawin yung method itself. Okay? And transfer natin yung wait. Mode RGB. Okay, transfer natin yung compass natin. Okay. So, dito sa parallel planes, to prove that two planes are parallel, we need to show that there are two pairs of lines that are parallel to each other that are contained in their respective planes. Okay, so what do I mean by that? If I can find, kunwari, let's just do ito, no? If I can find, kunwari, one line here that is also truly parallel to another line here, and this is my first pair of line, no? Pair of lines. Tapos maghanap ako ng isa pang pair of lines. So kunwari, ito. Tapos truly parallel din siya dito. Again, truly parallel meaning ipoprove ko talaga in their parallelism in space, no? If I can find those two pairs, then I can say na itong two planes na to is truly parallel to each other. Okay? So hindi enough yung isa lang. Kailangan i-prove ko na merong two pairs of lines that are contained in each plane that are parallel to the ano. Actually, hindi kailangan pwedeng ganito, no? Pero mas madali siya isipin if I can find one line para mas madali yata isipin. Pero pwede rin isipin niyo siya ganito. So you can do that or so depende na lang kung ano yung mas comfortable kayo, no, mas madaling isipin. Or pwede rin if I can find that this line here contained in 1 2 3 is truly parallel to ABC and another line. So kunwari another line here that is not parallel to this one, no? Kasi kung parallel siya to this one, I'm just proving the same. Kumbaga same proof lang 'yon. Hindi siya unique proof. So kailangan yung other line ko is not parallel to this one. Okay? So importante 'yun, ha. So I can do ganito. Tapos ito truly parallel din dito sa ABC. Then I can say na itong 1 2 3 is truly parallel to ABC because it contains those two lines. Okay? So pwede nyo isipin ganon or yung kanina na parang hanap ako ng pairs. No? So for example, yan. Which is the same technique lang din naman. No? Kasi to prove that this pink line here is parallel to ABC, I need to find a line contained in ABC that is truly parallel to this pink line right here. Tama? So actually, same method lang siya. Iba lang yung parang kumbaga the way you approach it. Or well, same lang yung technical approach, iba lang yung parang viewpoint niya. Okay? Okay, anyway, so let's do let's try to do it, no? So, first in this case, let's recycle lines, no? So, let's look at kunwari itong AB. AB already looks to be parallel to 1 3. So, let's try to look at it. AB parallel to 1 3. And I'll write it down, no? AB is parallel to 1 3. Tapos in this is in HRP. AB is also parallel to 1 3, which is in saan ba to? In FRP. Then I can say that AB is truly parallel to 1 3. Tama? Now let's look at another proof. We can see na sino bang si BC. If you look at BC is parallel to 2 3. Tama? And this is in HRP. And we can also see that BC is parallel to 2 3. We will look at this. Ano? Parallel nga ba sila? Oh, parallel sila. Let me try to. Let me check, ha. Parallel nga ba sila? Yan. Ay, hindi sila parallel. Kasi hindi rin talaga parallel dito. Okay, so I can, kasi wala na akong other edges to work with, no? So let me do another edge. Reset the view. So gagawa ko ng isang line parallel to BC. And this is just an arbitrary line, no? Pwede namang ibang line yung gamitin nyo. And in fact, just to prove, let's do a random line. Wari ganyan. And this random line, right here, gawa natin siya ng parallel line dun sa kabilang triangle. Okay? So, let's do kahit dito din. Okay? Ganyan. Okay, so this is my random line and let's just call this random line as XY. No? And dito naman, this is WZ. Okay, let's just call it that. No? Now let's project it downwards. Si x is between 1 and 3. Tama? And y is between 1 and 2. Tama? So ito siya. Now we project it downwards din. Ito. WZ. This is AB, so W should be here. Tapos Z is in between AC, so Z should be here. Okay? And you can see that WZ and XY, tama, XY. And maybe I'll show it in a different color. Tama? So you can see that WZ and XY are parallel. And I did that as I don't know, random line lang yon yung ginawa ko. Pero nag-parallel siya. And that happens when you have truly parallel, truly parallel planes. Okay? So, ang proof dito is BC, sorry. Ang proof dito is itong XZ is parallel to WZ in HRP and XZ is parallel to WZ in FRP. So therefore, XZ is parallel to WZ. And lastly, because of these two, ito and ito, we can also say na therefore, 1, 2, 3 is parallel to ABC. ABC. But if you want, you can also extend this, no? Pwede ding sabihin mo na XZ or plane 1, 2, 3 contains XZ, XZ and AB. Pwede to, idagdag nyo lang. Sorry, XZ and 1, 3. Tapos plane ABC contains WZ and ano ba to? WZ and ano yung pinaprove AB. So therefore, triangle ABC is parallel to triangle 1, 2, 3. Okay? So ito part na to class, no, pwede nyo skip. Yung iba hindi na nila sinusulat to. Pero again ako, I just like to write it kasi to emphasize na yung thought process ko. Okay? So therefore, I have proven that ABC, sorry. Thank you for the correction. No? Hindi to XY pala. XY. XY. Correct natin. XY. 1, 2, 3, and AB. Kasi Lawrence asks, no, sir, posible ba na mag-try ng arbitrary pair of parallel lines tapos okay siya, then yung pangalawa hindi okay? Pag ganun, kung kunwari yung pangalawa hindi naging okay, automatic na hindi parallel yung two planes. Kasi once na, kung truly parallel sila, any pair na pipiliin nyo will always be parallel to each other, no? Kahit arbitrary lang yung pagpili nyo sa kanya. So, the moment na hindi naging parallel yung second pair nyo, ibig sabihin yung plane na yun, kasi posible na parang nagkataon lang yung no, yung first pair, tapos yung second pair hindi na siya. So, wait. Let me try to demonstrate. Itong dalawang calculus. I'll try to demonstrate kung ano yung case na sinasabi nyo. So let's just say dalawang planes tong itong calculator na to. Ito. Oh. So dalawang planes siya in space. So mara ganyan. So yung case na parallel yung dalawang lines is actually para siyang actually ito to. Mas madali ma-explain, no. Pare ganyan. Nakikita nyo ba? Itong dalawang na to. Ito, yan, yung dalawang plane na yan. So, posible na ito, yung line na nagko-connect sa kanila, ito, ito no, itong part na to, kung saan ko sila kinonect, that is a pair of parallel lines. So kung ganyan, they are parallel to each other, di ba? Tama? So I have found a pair of parallel lines. So kahit anong ikot ko sa kanya, parang same pa rin naman sila. Parallel pa rin naman sila. Pero yung planes themselves, hindi sila parallel. So parang ang nangyari dyan is yung case na sinabi ni Lawrence ngayon na nakahanap ako ng dalawang lines, a pair of lines parallel. Pero when I try to find another parang set, hindi ako makakahanap ng pangalawang set. Kasi hindi talaga sila truly parallel. Parang ganun. So, yun. I hope, okay. Sabi ni Lawrence na nag-guess na. And hopefully, medyo na-imagine din ng iba, no? Okay? So, yun. So, if they are truly parallel, then kahit gaano ka random or arbitrary yung line na pipiliin nyo, dapat magpo-prove pa rin sila kasi truly parallel sila. Okay? So, ang only case lang class no na ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na dapat yung pipiliin yung kunwari itong pairs na pinili ko dito is itong A, B, and 1, 3, tama? And yung second pair ko is si X, Y, and WZ. Okay? So, kailangan itong si X, Y, and WZ is not parallel to A, B, and 1, 3. Kasi kung parallel sila, you are just proving the same, kumbaga, you are providing the same proof. Hindi sila unique proof eh. Tama? So that's just like saying na no? And let me erase all of this, no? So that's like saying na 12:55. Sige, 5 minutes. Yung iba na kailangan na umalis, no? You can leave for your next class kung may 1 p.m. class kayo. It's okay, you can leave. Naka-record naman to. And actually finishing na naman na to. So thank you for coming in today. Yung mga kailangan umalis. And I'll see you next week ulit. Okay? So just to continue this discussion before I end it. Gusto ko lang i-prove. Kunwari, 'di ba, ang pinrove natin dito is AB and 1, 3, which is these lines, AB and 1, 3. If I try to do kunwari ganyan, and this is parallel to AB and 1, 3, no? And I'll just label this XY and WZ. If I did this time, hindi na unique si WZ. Etong proof na to is not a unique proof, no? This proof is actually the same proof as this one. So, hindi yun pwede. Kailangan, kung pipili man kayo ng ibang, kung pipili kayo ng second pair nyo, ay, sorry, ako lang pala yun. Nakikita yung mukha ko. Anyway, ito. Ito yung sinasabi ko, class, no? So, kunwari lang, if I do XY, which is parallel to 1, 3, and WZ, which is parallel to AB, if I did this, ang nangyari dyan is etong proof na to is not a unique proof to this one. So, pwede ko ito considered as one pair lang din talaga to. So, kailangan ko ng isa pang subsequent na or isa pang pair of lines na hindi parallel dapat. So, kaya necessary na kunwari pumili ako ng something like this, X, Y. And I do parallel lines, no? So, kunwari ito parallel sa kanya. So, somewhere dito. Kunwari ganyan. WZ. So, kailangan ganyan. Para to prove ko na parallel silang dalawa. Kasi this time, kung ganitong ginawa ko, this is now unique. Magkaiba na to, WZ na proof na to versus AB 1, 2, 3 na proof na to. Okay? Okay. Pero again, sige, pakita ko yung isang proof class, no? If this were me, usually nagre-recycle tayo ng mga lines, no? So instead of committing two other lines like this, WZ, XY, and WZ, what you can actually do is just look at, for example, AC. We look at AC, tapos drawing tayo ng isang parallel line contained in and you will notice na ito, mas madali siya, no? If I do this, AC, and I can just do 2, 2 prime. And let's project 2 prime. 2 prime is in between 1 and 3. This is 2, 2 prime right here. And you can see that 2, 2 prime is parallel to AC. So pwedeng ang proof ko is something like, instead of this one, parang AC is parallel to 2, 2 prime. AC is parallel to 2, 2 prime. Therefore, AC is truly parallel to 2, 2 prime. Parang ganyan. Tapos, since 1, 2, 3 contains 2, 2 prime and 1, 3, and also ABC contains AB, sorry, AC and AB. Therefore, ABC should be parallel to 1, 2, 3. Again, uh, i-indicate ko lang no, na parang sometimes hindi na necessary to, no? Kasi kumbaga obvious naman. Pwedeng from this, diretso na kayo papunta dyan. Okay? Hopefully that clarifies things, and that ends our lesson for today, class, no? And meron ba kayong questions about the lesson na nahihirapan kayo or something? Wala naman. How about the others? Yung mga nagstay, o kasi nagstay kayo, shout out kayo. Shout out to Aji, Lawrence, Nika, and Remiel for staying. Parang none so far naman. Sabi ni Nika, that's good. How about the others? Mukhang pwede bang thumbs up or kung okay tayo? Okay, nag-thumbs up naman. Okay, I think it's okay na, no? Hopefully, marami kayo natutunan in today's lesson. It might be a challenging kasi nag-ano na tayo, no? Nagpo-proceed na tayo to imagination of lines and planes in space, and dito na nagsisimula yung parang difficulty, nagra-ramp up yung difficulty ng ES1, no? Pero I hope through the things that you've learned today, makakapag-practice kayo and maka-carry over natin sa mga future lessons natin. So thank you again for staying, guys, and I'll see you next week. And practice lang tayo, no? Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you po.
Okay. Tas pwede na kayo mag-lunch, guys. Ingat. Bye-bye.